What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video today, and in this video we are at Cedar Rapids, Eastern Iowa Airport for the 14th airport update for the month of September 2025. The GSE is locked and loaded. We have every aircraft here, minus the cargo aircraft, because I have a couple off to the side here, that will have GSE servicing it. So no more of the, I guess you call it like the blank aircraft that just don't have anything going on with them. So now all of them have some sort of GSE movement happening, which is going to make the airport feel a little more full, if you will. We'll go ahead and get the update started with this Allegiant 737 MAX 8. Always nice to feature one of these. This arrived in from St. Petersburg is flight 1010 at 9:13 a.m., 10 minutes early. We don't have any American mainline in this update. We do have two Eagle aircraft to take their place. We have the Embraer 175 from DFW, and actually both Eagle aircraft are from DFW. This arrived in as Flight 4235, an Envoy service at 11:16 p.m., only 2 minutes behind schedule. And we have the PSA CRJ 900 still being cycled through DFW. That SkyWest 900's also been sort of circling around as well. Hasn't flown to any of my airports just yet. We don't get the SkyWest 900s, mainly at Omaha, Cedar Rapids, Sioux Falls, Fargo, Des Moines are the main airports that I currently do right now. But haven't seen them pop up there just yet, but inevitably it's going to happen. So hopefully Gemini Jets gets on to making the SkyWest CRJ 900 house livery, because that would be super nice. But this is a PSA-operated CRJ 900 from DFW, arriving in as Flight 5337 at 12:44 p.m., 18 minutes early. And then we'll immediately jump over to the expansion piece, since again 4, 6, and 8 they just don't use them anymore, except if the airport is extremely crowded and there's really nowhere else to go for these aircraft. So that is the situation that we have here. At gate 10 we have the United 737 MAX 8 arriving in from Chicago O'Hare as flight 1923, and this arrived in at 9:58 p.m., 28 minutes behind schedule. Another 737, the regular next generation 800. Bit of a rare breed, as I've said before, the Unicon merger livery. I've heard that the last of the 757-300s have been repainted, which is pretty cool, but a bit unfortunate we are losing out on this merger livery, since it has been a staple of United Airlines for a number of years after the merger with Continental, but I do prefer the Evo Blue livery more over the Unicon, since the United titles are much larger on the current livery as opposed to this one. So that's where my preference sits with that. But at any rate, we have the 738. This arrived in as Flight 2324 at 10:37 p.m., just over an hour late. And then we have the Delta 738 from ATL over here at Gate 14, the regular blended winglet variant. This arrived in as Flight 2626 at 10:49 p.m., 6 minutes early. And then I'll swing on over to the last aircraft at the terminal. We have the Delta Connection CRJ 900 at Gate 11, arriving in from Minneapolis as Flight 5290, an Endeavor Air service. And this arrived in at 10:58 p.m., 11 minutes late. So that is all the aircraft that we have at the terminal for Cedar Rapids this month. So go ahead and do the quick roundup here, as we take a look at all the applicable services out of Cedar Rapids for this month. Flight Connection is a great resource to use if you just want to see what the frequencies are going to be and what the services will be like. So as we start off with Minneapolis, that'll be pretty consistent with 3 daily, mixture of the 175 and the CRJ 900. Some days they'll do all CR9s, other days they'll do a mixture of 2 175s and then 1 CRJ 900. Frontier out of Denver, that will be 4 weekly in September and October, Sunday, Monday, Thursday, and Friday. Primary mix of all the different Airbus variants. And then we have Portland, November 9th, bit of a one-off there, still present on the schedule. I should mention the United stuff as well, just to be safe. That will be pretty much all mainline, but there are some days with Embraer 175 mixed in there. Vegas on Allegiant will be 2 weekly this month, and then next month will be up to 4 weekly with additional Sunday and Thursday frequencies. Delta from LAX, that'll be November 14th and 16th, previously charters. that I have covered in a prior update. Phoenix for American Eagle, so this is out of Sky Harbor, will be 2 daily, except on Saturdays when it drops to just 1 daily, the Embraer 175 and then the CRJ 700 on those Saturdays with only 1 service. Phoenix Mesa will be Sunday, Thursday, but then in October they'll add additional Sunday, Tuesday, or Tuesday and Saturday frequencies in there as well. And then DFW, looks like they're going to add a 4th service on Saturdays, CRJ and 900. So that's that PSA service that I actually covered, 5337, which is pretty cool. But otherwise, everything else looks to be just 3 daily. But there actually is more days with 4 daily, so I shouldn't say just Saturdays, but they have added that extra frequency there. Very nice to get that covered in this update. Nashville twice weekly, Monday, Friday. And then Washington Reagan, still 1 daily there, the 175. That's not what I wanted to do. That's much better. And then another one-off service, Philadelphia, October 19th. That will be on an A319. Charlotte, if we can get to that there. That has been primarily 1 daily mainline on the A321, but some A320s mixed in there. And then that Delta mainline to Atlanta, no major changes there with that 738. Very nice to have that consistency. Orlando Sanford on Allegiant, that's also twice weekly in September. Next month they'll add an extra Wednesday frequency. Punta Gorda, similar case, twice weekly, Monday, Friday, but they'll switch it to a Wednesday, Saturday frequency in October. And then Fort Lauderdale, that will start up again November 21st. They'll use some of the MAX 8s there. And American Eagle, that Miami Saturday only service, that'll start up November 8th. Sarasota will resume December 18th. And then for St. Petersburg, that will be twice weekly, Sunday, Thursday, through the next couple months. And then that is all the services that we have for this little roundup segment. Always nice to see what's happening with the various developments here. And now that will bring us over to the cargo section for this update. We have 2 aircraft in question. UPS and DHL making their rounds here. We'll start off with the UPS aircraft, the A300. Arriving in from Des Moines, a very short flight, arriving in as Flight 513 at 9:15 p.m., 17 minutes early. And then our last aircraft down here, the very lovely DHL 737-800. Thank you again, David, for this from Airliners. This arrived in from Kansas City as Flight 433 at 10:13 p.m., only 1 minute behind schedule. Very nice cargo tandem there for this update. And that is Cedar Rapids. So just kind of finish on, let's do this shot right here, since that's kind of a nice setup there with the 2 Uniteds and the Delta there. Also, what you'll see in the thumbnail. It's a very nice Cedar Rapids update. Plenty of GSE to go about. It looks really nice, and it just looks so much better with having GSE at all aircraft instead of the 1 or 2 loaners that just don't have anything going on with them because I didn't have enough sets at the time. But rest assured, I'll still keep getting more sets as time goes on, since I have Omaha, which is my largest airport. That'll definitely need about a dozen or so sets to make everything feel complete, and obviously more as time goes on. And with their terminal expansion, I shouldn't say really expansion, but just more of like a complete reconstruction, that will look much different. And then Cedar Rapids, obviously, with their project complete, it looks a whole lot different than when I started this airport just over a year ago. So I'll do it for this update. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.